has been 7 years since Queenstown last saw its new launch project with Sterling Residences back in 2018. For Queenstown, we all know that this is a town with $1 million HDB, and it has been constantly setting record-breaking prices. So now the question is, how will this development perform, and how will the residents in this area look at this project? So today, let's take a look at Penrith.
So similar to our past videos, what we will do is we'll touch on the project details, the site and the floor plans, the comparative market analysis, and finally, maybe give you some reasons why it is a buy or why it could be a miss for some of you. So before that, remember to like, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so that you can be kept updated on the project videos. So let's first look at the project details. So Penrith is actually developed by Margaret Rice Development. Basically, it's a joint venture by Hong Leong, Hong Realty, and Guaco Land. And actually, all these three companies under the big umbrella of Hong Leong Group lah. Okay, there is two blocks, block 70 and 72, and it is 99 years lease from November 2024. Now the land size is about 9,522 square meters. Definitely not the largest in the Queenstown area, which we'll show you later on what other condo developments there are in the area. Okay, and all in all, 462 residential units, over 2 blocks of 40 stories. There is an early childhood development center, and rightfully so, given that that Dawson area and this Margaret Drive area, there's plenty of new HDB. So we do expect maybe upgraders and families moving into this area. So I think it's right that one of the requirements is to cater for early childhood development center. Okay, number of car park lots, 376, of which if I minus out the accessible lots and the ECDC lots, then it is about 80% car park to units ratio. Okay, expected date of notice of vacant possession is actually April 2031, but the developer has given us a non-committed date of about April 2029. So owners there may be collecting the keys in 2029 instead of having to wait till 2031. One thing, very important, you must know, there is priority booking for Penrith. So if you qualify under the loyalty purchase, especially if you're existing owner or you're ex-owner, or maybe your siblings, your parents, your children were existing or ex-owner, you can actually contact us. We can help you to check, okay, whether you're eligible for this, and you may be one of the first few to be able to select a unit of your choice. So DM us and we can actually do a check for you.
So next, let's take a look at the location map. So Penrith is actually located, right here. If you're familiar with the location, it's actually just right beside Queenstown Primary School, and it's actually flanked between the HDB at the Dawson area. So this project actually offers a sheltered linkway, which is about 4 minutes walk, to the Queenstown MRT. And let's take a look at the location map with the amenities surrounding. So we all know that for Queenstown, it's a very, very mature estate with everything, put together right here. So right up close, definitely we have the library in the area. Okay, so people who stays around here, they'll often visit, the Margaret Drive Hawker Centre towards the Dawson Place or even the Mei-Chin Road Market. And then further down, we had the IKEA as well as the Alexandria Food Village. So you have all the food areas, very, very close as well. In terms of the sports-wise, we are beside the Alexandria Canal Park. We have the park connectors, over here, for your daily sports and lifestyles, and then we have our sports center nearby, but of course it will be going to be rejuvenated. And then we have our railway corridor just down the road. We also have the healthcare amenities, which is also very, very close by as well.
So I think that's definitely the benefit of being in a mature town, and that is also why Queenstown is actually very popular, because everything is right there. If you put your family right there, you're well taken care of. Food, amenities, recreational lifestyle is all there.
Yeah, that's right. So of course we also have our very expensive HDBs, right here. We have our Skyview, our Sky Overseas, even our Dawson in the area as well. And then let's take a look at the overview of Penrith. So Penrith is actually located, right here itself. So Penrith actually has the facing, which is towards the our good class bungalow side, we have, which is towards the Dempsey or Botanic Garden views. Okay, and of course, those who are very familiar, right beside we have our HDBs, and this is our Queenstown School over here. Okay, and then towards our southern side, we have our Southern Regis, our Maple Tree Business City Park, which is all very close by.
Right, and looking at a unit breakdown, we can see that all in all, 462 units, about 33% of them are 2-bedroom units. Okay, now at Penrith, there is 2 all the way to 4-bedroom units, 2, 3, 4 basically. Over 66% of it is actually the 3, 4-bedroom units. Okay, if you look at it, I would say the 3-bedroom unit at about 786 square feet, 850 square feet, it could be a size of about a 2+ study in the older projects, or maybe like in Sterling is a 2+ study. So maybe towards the back, we will share a bit more on the price point and each of the bedroom type we see could be a more popular choice in the area. So let's move on to the site and the floor plan. Let's have a look at the site plan first. If you look at it, the main entrance will be from Margaret Drive. So from Margaret Drive, once you enter, you make a right turn, left turn, and you head towards this drop-off point. Okay, we'll show you the perspective later so you can have a look. 2 blocks, in between the blocks, they are 60 meters apart. Now, in today's development, some of the blocks are maybe only about 20, 30 meters apart. So this is almost about 2-3 times the distance. You should have pretty good privacy with this distance. Right in the middle, you have a free-form pool. It is actually more than 50 meters, so from the longest end. There is 3 side gate. Okay, 2 of the side gate actually is along Margaret Drive. Now, the side gate that will be more used if you're going to the MRT will definitely be the one that is near to block 72, and that leads you to the sheltered walkway that is 4 minutes walk to Queenstown MRT. There is facility on the 40th story of each blocks T and 72. Basically, it's more of a area where you can actually go and get the really unblocked view of the GCB area right in front, and there is also on each of the block a barbecue area for hosting of your guests. Let's have a look at the perspective so at least we have a little idea. So this is the perspective of the main drop-off point, which we actually highlighted earlier on. Okay, then moving on, you can see that this is how the free-form pool actually looked like from a top-down angle. Beside the main pool, actually there is the tea pavilion right there. Okay, and this is another angle of the main pool. From here, you can see on the right hand side, actually there is a 2-story clubhouse. We will have a better look at the clubhouse later. Okay, this is another angle of the pool, okay, with the clubhouse right at the back. The pool deck, okay, and this is where you can see a rose sanctuary with actually a garden gazebo at the back. If you notice, actually the design is quite English style, right? And in fact, beside this garden gazebo, there is a picnic lawn, and there is a total of 3 picnic lawns that is actually spread across the development. Okay, and the building that you see beside there is actually where the clubhouse is, and you can see the cantilever gym. Water Lily Pond, how many developments do you find? Can you actually see this? So the developer has put some thoughts into how they design the outlook and given that Penrith is actually a town in UK, so they have designed it to be of an English feel. Even if you go down the show flat, actually you can see that they have done a little bit on the outside to make it feel like you are going to England. This is the barbecue terrace that is actually located right beside the pool at the clubhouse area. Okay, there's another 2 more barbecue terrace which we actually mentioned that are located at the rooftop. So right here, this is the roof garden where you can get your unblocked view, okay, and you can see the beautiful view. So whether you need to really buy super high floor unit or maybe you can just go to the roof garden to enjoy this view, ultimately up to individual preference lah. Okay, this is the view from the roof garden.
Let's quickly look into the floor plan for the 2-bedroom. Okay, so we have the 614 square feet and the 678 square feet. So in Penrith, the floor plans actually is very straightforward. For this 614 square feet is actually a 2-bedroom, okay, and 1 bathroom over here, and we have actually a L-shaped kitchen. So, but the good thing is when you actually enter the main door, your kitchen is actually kind of like tucked in one corner instead of the straight way where you enter and then you head the kitchen right into your face. The size wise is actually pretty decent, 614 square feet, and this one is actually a harmonized project. So there's 2 stack for this size, and then we have another 2 stack for our 2-bedroom premium, which is the 678 square feet. This comes with actually a 2-bed 2-bath. So for our 2-bed 2-bath 678 square feet, there is an enclosed kitchen at one corner, and then it's more of a dumbbell layout. I think many of you who have seen our videos are very familiar what is the dumbbell layout. And then you have the master bedroom with an attached bathroom, and on the other side you have this bedroom too with the bath too right next to it. And at the same time, guests that comes over here can also access to the bathroom from the dining area as well. Okay, so this project comes with the balcony. So where are the stacks located? So for our type 2A, which is actually our smaller compact 2-bedroom, which is a 614 square feet, is actually located at stack 4 at block 70, and then you have it stack 10, okay, at block 72. So both are actually facing our north direction. So if you notice that for Penrith itself, this is actually a north-south facing development. And whether if you are looking into at stack 4, which is towards the Margaret Drive, or if you are deciding to buy somewhere on a higher floor, you will be overlooking into the northern views towards the Dempsey, the good class bungalow side. At stack 10, you also get a very good views on the inner views as well, with the very nice landscape view. Even if you buy on a higher floor, some people are very concerned about the inner facing, but do note that this one is actually a good 60 meters block to block different, which is really very far. Okay, so if you want to actually go down to our show flat, we can really show you, what is this 60 meters, how does this 60 meters depth look like. For our type 2B, which is the 2-bed 2-bath, which is the 678 square feet, we had actually at stack 1, block 70, and then we have the stack 7 over at block 72. So this time it's actually towards the southern facing. So either you want to look into the opposite HDB views, or you want to have the inner views over at stack 1. You have actually selections over here. The developer has also just released the indicative price, starting from 1.495, which the estimated PSF we're looking at is starting from 2437, which is really very attractive compared to the resale prices in the location.
So the 2-bedroom premium is actually the show flat unit as well, 678 square feet. So you can have an actual feel of how the size is in the show flat itself. Okay, the guide price for this 2-bedroom premium is actually from 1.665 million, also at about 2,455 PSF onwards, right?
But of course, quantum-wise is about $200,000 difference for an additional bathroom.
Yes, and that being said, actually one thing, I'm not sure if you noticed, stack 4, which is the 2-bedroom type, is actually of a very premium facing. It is basically the north facing where it is mostly unblocked. So usually this kind of facing is reserved for usually the larger type. So actually left and right, you are getting the 5-bedroom and a 4-bedroom. So if you are looking for a place, 2-bedroom with a beautiful view, then I think this could be your choice. Of course, then next question is what is the price, right? So then moving on to the 3-bedroom, okay, this is the 3-bedroom, the smaller 3-bedroom type. Okay, there's another 3-bedroom premium which we'll cover later. So this 3-bedroom, one thing good, comes with an enclosed kitchen, and there's windows at the kitchen. Now, another thing to point out, the 2-bathroom both has got windows for ventilation, right? This type 3A is slightly smaller, 786 square feet, and type 3B at 850 square feet. So what is the difference? Now, one of the main differences is that once you enter the foyer, the orientation is slightly different. I think for type 3A, once you enter, you look straight in, you can see your living area, dining area. Now for type 3B, you have a little bit more privacy, because after you go in, you got to make a turn before you see your dining and living area, right? The space in terms of the living and dining, you can also see a difference, because for 3B, the larger unit, the depth is further at 5.7 meters, whereas for the smaller unit is about 4.5 meters. Okay, in terms of kitchen also, you can see the 850 square feet has got a larger kitchen. From the way I see, there's also more countertop space. So other than that, the next difference will come in is the master bedroom. So master bedroom for the larger unit is also slightly wider. Next, let's look at where these units are. Okay, for the smaller unit, they are at 6 and 12. So stack 6 on block 70 is on the inner facing overlooking the freeform pool, right? And stack 12 will be overlooking south, but Behind that will be the HDB blocks, okay? How far away this stack 12 is from the block? From the way we see, there is a lower block before you hit the 40-story blocks at the back. So actually for stack 12, you can still get a pretty good distant view, okay? If you get slightly on a higher floor, you clear the lower HDB block, right? Okay, for type 3B, the slightly bigger unit, 850 square feet, it's at stack 8. Okay, stack 8 is actually overlooking also the southern side and this is also the block that's closest to the side gate, right? So depending on what kind of view you want, but for the 3-bedroom, the 73 square meter and 79 square meters, they are actually all overlooking the south side. So it's whether you want to overlook the HDB side or whether you want to overlook the facility sides. Okay, in terms of the price, okay, the guide price given by developer for the 3-bedroom is from 1.973 million. So it is from 2,511 per square foot. For this, definitely will be for the smaller unit. So our guess for the slightly bigger 850 square feet, assuming it's also at 2,000, starting from 2,500 over per square foot, it could come in at about 2.1 over million for the slightly larger 850 square feet. So if you ask me, okay, if possible, I would think the 850 square feet layout is, in terms of, I would say, slightly better, especially for family. If you want a bit more privacy, you don't want people to walk past and then look in directly to your unit, right? And the kitchen is also bigger. So if you're a family who likes cooking, I think you will probably prefer a larger kitchen also. But other than that, if you are looking at 2-bed premium, okay, then maybe one option that you may want to consider is to maybe try to go for a 3-bedroom 786 square feet instead.
If your budget allows.
If your budget allows, because
really
if you end up going for a very high floor 2-bedroom premium, the price could maybe come quite close to this smaller 786 3-bedroom unit. So if that's the case, especially if it's maybe for investment, then one thing you may want to consider is you may want to look at the 3-bedroom if the difference is maybe of a small, maybe 50k or thereabouts lah.
Because if you were to take a look at the 3-bedroom, I'm sure many people who took a look at Penrith, they also take a look at the surrounding resale developments as well. And one thing obvious, over at Penrith here, there is no bay window. And even for this 3-bedroom, 786 square feet, you get a very proper 3-bedroom, and you can actually fit in a queen size bed. So even at the similar resale project, even at 786, it comes with a 2+ study. So the study will definitely not be able to fit in a bed, but over here at Penrith, you actually get a proper bedroom. Okay, and all 3 bedrooms are actually aligned, facing at one direction.
And if we move on to the 3-bedroom premium, the difference between this and the 3-bedroom will be that there is an additional store, there is a yard area, and there is an additional WC. Okay, in terms of size, 936 and 1066 square feet, the show flat unit will be of the bigger unit at 1066 square feet. Now, what is the difference? One, also the foyer area. Now, the smaller unit actually comes with a foyer area whereby it is landscape. Okay, you cannot look directly into the unit.
A bit more exclusive.
It's a bit more exclusive, whereas for the larger unit, once you come in, you will look right into the living area. Now, in terms of the kitchen size, okay, I think from the floor plan itself, we can see that the kitchen size is definitely bigger for the 1066 square feet unit. Okay, you think have a wider kitchen, 3.5 meter versus 2.8 meter, right? Both has got a yard, both have got a storage, okay, and then the WC. Okay, right. The next difference will definitely be the living area. Okay, now in terms of the smaller unit, the entire span of the dining and living area is about 5.8 meters, right? Whereas on the other side, the larger unit, you can see that the living plus the dining itself is about 6.6 meters. So it's definitely deeper, and it seems to have a better separation. You have like a bigger living area, and then the dining is, separated in a corner right below it for the larger unit lah. Balcony also comes bigger, a wider balcony for the larger unit. Okay, in terms of the master bedroom, you can see the next difference is that the larger unit comes with a walk-in wardrobe. So for someone who wants a walk-in wardrobe, then this 1066 square feet will actually provide you with that. So if you look at where the units are actually located, now if you look at the smaller 3-bedroom premium, it is on stack 2. So stack 2 is at the corner of the block. Right beside it is actually the primary school, okay? And this is inner facing, overlooking all the facilities, the clubhouse area, right? And stack 9 is right across it in the other block. So stack 9 is north facing. Given that the primary school is on, the primary school is of lower level, I think for stack 9 on the overall, you can actually get quite a good open view as well.
Well, actually the views would be, wow, fantastic.
And for 3-bedroom premium, there is no guide price as at the time of recording, but our guess is that for the per square foot, it may start at about 2006 per square foot instead of the 3-bedroom starting from 2.5. Okay, why? Because overall, through the recent few launches, we noticed that developers tend to price a bit higher for the premium units like the 3-bedroom and the larger unit, the 4-5-bedroom units. So our guess would be that it could start from about 2.4 million, about 2,600 PSF, maybe as a form of marketing. Maybe when the lowest unit may be about 2.3 over million lah. Yeah, but that we only know when the price is released, okay? And the larger 3-bedroom unit will likely start from maybe about 2.7 over million. Now, do note these two are really our guess. There is no indicative price at this moment from developers, so don't quote us. If you want the latest update, you can drop us a DM and we will send it to you.
So if you're still with us in this video, do stay until the end because we'll be covering a little bit of the CMA in this location, and you will probably see that even at this 2.5 or 2.6, will it be a very good entry price or an okay price or just a great price? So let's find out later on in the video, okay? Then let's take a look at the 4-bedroom. So you can see it's very straightforward. We have this 4-bedroom, which is at 1173 square feet, and then our 4-bedroom premium, which is a 1281 square feet. So if you take a look at our smaller 1173 square feet, it also comes with a kitchen, our yard, store, and WC over here. And we have our 4 proper bedrooms. Okay, our master bedroom also has the walk-in wardrobe, and we have our bedroom 4 tucked at a corner on the inner side, and this is our common bathroom right here. Okay, and switching over to our 4-bedroom premium, okay, one of the very significant difference is that our living dining area, this one is actually a landscape layout, which I really love this kind of layout because you have a lot of natural lights that really comes in through the balcony and really shines into our dining living area over here. Okay, and our 4-bedroom premium, we have our bedroom 2 and our bedroom 3 is a Jack and Jill, and they actually share one bath too, right in the middle. And for this project itself, we also have a bedroom 4 with access over to the bath 3, which is our common bathroom area. And our master bedroom comes with a walk-in wardrobe, okay, before it heads into the master bath. Okay, so size-wise, very good one, 1281 square feet. Our kitchen is very comparable. So we still have the kitchen, our WC, our store. So let's take a look at where is it facing. So for our Type 4A, 1173 square feet, which is actually at stack 5 at block 17 and stack 11. So both are actually north facing, whether if you want to really choose a very high floor 4-bedroom, overlooking unblocked views, or you prefer somewhere on the inner facing, okay, you have a choice. Okay, and for our 1281 square feet, which is the 4-bedroom premium, we have, of course, the best views at stack 3.
So generally, the 4-bedroom, the very premium one, definitely you get your premium facing lah. Okay, but the 4-bedroom, the smaller 4-bedroom, actually you have a choice whether you want the premium facing or whether you are looking at the facilities level. But in terms of the facing, there will be maybe quite a bit of difference in terms of the premium that you may have to pay.
Correct. But
Yeah.
of course, even the 4-bedroom premium, there's only 38 units. So if we take a look at our CMA later on, we find that for 4-bedroom in this area, not that many units available for sale. I think once it's out for sale, it gets snapped up very, very quickly. If you're looking if you're someone that's looking for this kind of size, in the resale market, you know that it's quite difficult to find.
Yeah, over there, one thing is because there's not many, and another thing is usually when people buy 4-bedroom, it is more for own stay, so it is rarely in the market. Yeah, in terms of the guide price given, the 4-bedroom actually starts from 3.078 million, okay, from about 2,623 per square foot. So if you see the 2-bedder, 3-bedder, 4-bedder, you realize that as the bedroom get larger, the per square foot actually gets a bit higher, right? And for the premium, no indicative price, so we are just making a guess based on an estimated per square foot of over 2,600. It could come in at about 3.3 over million. Yeah, of course, that's for the lowest floor lah.
So if you have your own guesses as well, do leave a comment and let us know how much do you think this 4-bedroom premium may possibly go for.
Or maybe how much you are willing to pay.
Yeah.
So next, we will move into the comparative market analysis. Okay, if you have actually caught our earlier videos, we would have already have a sense of how the land cost has been rising. So this is actually the government land sales that's across Singapore. We don't want to go in depth because we have already covered it in pretty much almost all our videos done previously. But basically what we can see is that how OCR's land bid prices can actually be almost on par or even surpass those that's in the RCR or even the CCR. So Penrith, okay, the land price is actually at 1,154 per square foot per plot ratio. Now, with the estimated break-even price to be maybe about 2001, 2002, we are also seeing why the developer is pricing starting from about 2,400 and then 2,500, 2,600 per square foot. So that is, I think, a profit margin of ranging about 20 to 25%. So let's move on to see what are the condos within the Penrith vicinity. Basically, not many. Within 1 km of Queenstown MRT, only 6 condos, and that is including Penrith. Now, if we look at the newest one, that will definitely be Sterling Residences. Like we mentioned, they launched in 2018 and they actually TOP in 2022. Now, there's 1,259 units over at Sterling. Now, the next one will actually be Margaret View, that actually TOP around 2021. Now, Margaret View, I would say, is one of the smallest development over there with only 309 units, including the land is also of a smallest land plot. The next one, okay, will be Queen's Peak at 736 units, TOP in 2020. Now, Queen's Peak actually right beside Queenstown MRT. And before that, there was Commonwealth Towers. Now, Commonwealth Towers actually TOP around 2017 with 845 units. So if you look at Queens, okay, the earliest one that TOP in 2002 will be Queens, but I don't think it is a very good comparison because it is a good about 15 to 20 years difference from the rest of the condominium. Penrith, it is actually the second smallest land over there and also with 462 units. We will touch on it a little later to see whether Penrith would really be a good investment or maybe there are other considerations, especially if you are going to buy into the Queenstown area. This is the guide price that we have actually shown you earlier with the floor plans as well. So let's just quickly jump into the comparative market analysis. Okay, this is for the 2-bedroom unit. Now, if you see 2-bedroom within 1 km to Queenstown MRT, basically Queens, so far we don't see anything that was sold within this 1 year, okay? But to have a better comparison, I think what I'll do is I'll mainly look at Sterling Residences. Because why? In terms of the year, the TOP year, so far, this is the latest, 2022. Sterling is actually non-harmonized. So what we do is we try to compare it as close as possible. So what we did was we actually harmonized the dollar per square foot that of the past transactions. And you can see for Sterling Residences, average dollar per square foot is about 2,500. Okay. Looking at Penrith, the developer is actually starting from 2,400 over per square foot. And we do expect maybe, given that it's 40-story high, maybe mid-floor could be around 2,627 per square foot. So if you look at this, in terms of age, when Penrith TOP is 2029, maybe, okay, around 2029 and 2031, but let's say the TOP in 2029, it would be a good 7 years difference. It is actually 7 years younger compared to Sterling, right? So I would say developers are also looking closely at the market, how the resale market is doing, and then they are pricing it very attractive so that when you look at the price, maybe you will consider the new launch instead, right?
Yeah, but of course, if you're someone who are, we do have some of our clients that they only want brand new, nobody kind of really stay in the house, then they'll be looking at Penrith. But if you're open, you're just looking into the market, I think definitely people who are looking in this area, they'll definitely check out some of the resale projects, for example, Sterling in the area, to really make an informed decisions before you make your purchase.
Yeah, because if you really deep dive into the floor plan between Sterling and Penrith, actually in terms of sizes, if after I take out the aircon latch, they are quite comparable. Yeah.
And Sterling actually has pretty good views as well. So if you're actually facing the landed views for Sterling, even for some of the lower floors, they really do get a very good views from the unit as well. So there's something that you can consider.
Yeah, so maybe later we'll share a bit more on okay, it depends on also the bedroom type you're looking at. It depends on what your requirements are. Okay, but we'll share a bit more on the when we conclude to see which is suitable for who. Okay, then moving on, we are looking at a 3-bedroom unit within 1 km to Queenstown. Okay, Sterling is still of the closest comparison because why we don't want to put so much details into the video because we understand some of you are not
and people will just buy Sterling.
Not so technical. No. So if you look at Queen's Peak, the layout is quite different. It may not be ideal, or in some sense, people may say that it is not really space efficient. And for Queen's Peak, some of the bedrooms, they are really small. The common bedrooms maybe can only fit a single bed. Whereas if you look at Penrith, we have seen the floor plan, all bedrooms can fit a queen size bed. So that is one of the reasons why we don't really want to bring Queen's Peak in for comparison Yeah, but that being said, if we go and look at the harmonized per square foot, Sterling is already averaging about 2006, close to 2006, and it has transacted at over 2,700 per square foot. Okay, even if you look at Margaret View, the smallest development over there, it is actually in between 2 MRT stations, not exactly so close. They have also hit about 2,500 per square foot in terms of it being harmonized. Okay, Commonwealth Tower right beside MRT, close to 2,700 per square foot achieved. Right, so if you look at it, looking at Penrith price, it's starting from 2,005 per square foot. Averaging for the 3-bedroom could be about maybe 2,700, 2,800. Now average, like I said again, it's like 20th story. So if you don't need 20th story, you can go a bit lower. Maybe you can get for about 2,600, 2,700 per square foot. So will you then consider brand new, or do you want to go for resale Sterling, which they are actually already asking for about 2,600 over per square foot? So that's one question that you want to ask Yeah, but of course, some people then come into the land size, Sterling being such a big land, 1,200 over units, will it be a better buy, or will Penrith still win because it being brand new? The prices are very close.
So drop your comments below. We'll love to really hear what you think. Are you a resale person, or are you a new launch? So if we take a look at 4-bedrooms, so like we mentioned earlier, for this past 1 year, that is really very minimal transactions, and we only see the transactions over at Margaret View. Just 2 transactions only. The size is comparable to our Penrith here, which is the smallest one at 1173 square feet, and over at Margaret View here we have 1184 square feet. So if you are a family person that's really looking for our 4-bedroom, I think Penrith really does give you that option. So do find out with us, and then we can actually deep dive one-to-one to discuss which one is a good project for you to look into.
Yeah, because especially if you're looking at such big units, 4-bedroom, all in all, there are very few units, with the most being at Sterling Residences at this moment for 1,295 units. Such a big development, there's only 82 units of 4-bedroom. So if you're looking to buy 4-bedroom, Penrith is definitely of a consideration, because in the resale market, not many people are selling
So we have come to the last part, whether to buy this development or not, and why Penrith. So let's take a look at why Penrith. Okay, so Queenstown, it's a very well-established, mature estates, with very good infrastructure, with everything very close by. You have the markets, you have the school, you have the MRT, you have everything. So commuting to everywhere around Singapore, it's very easy. And we also want to take note that there is also a lot of future improvements and redevelopment in the area. We have our Tanglin Halt redevelopment with integrated facilities. We're going to have new parks, better public transport nodes. And then there's also a lot of pent-up demand in this area as well. And we mentioned earlier that our last project is Sterling, and that is back in 2018. So now Penrith is going to be the newest key in this area. And I'm sure many people who is looking to come nearer to town, this is definitely a project that you want to really look into. Plus, it is actually just 4 minutes walk sheltered to the MRT. Also, lastly, of course, because of its location, there's very strong demand in terms of rental, in terms of the HDB upgraders nearby. So, and people who are looking in this vicinity or towards the west, but yet quite close to the central location, there is a very strong demand support, for this location.
Yeah, but that being said, there could still be some objections in terms of why I should buy Penrith. So firstly, if you are a family and you want to register your kids in one of the top schools, there is none within the 1 kilometer range for top schools, right? But other than that, if you are just a family with no kids, or your kids are already in a good school or already in a higher level, then this is definitely not one of the main concern lah. But I think the second one may be more of a concern for most people. That area is of quite a high density. So as you can see, other than the north-facing units, basically left, right, and behind you, you are surrounded by pretty tall HDB. The Dawson estate, actually averagely the HDB is at least 40 stories and above. So do you want to be surrounded by HDBs around you, or would you prefer somewhere where it's of a lower density, you do not have so many high-rise surrounding you? Of course, plus and minus lah, because if you have so many HDB, then as she mentioned, amenities are all around, right? Lastly, for Penrith, if you are looking at an investment point of view, is this really the best choice for you? Being that there are so many launches recently, especially what we can see, most of them are in City Fringe or even right in the core central region. Is Penrith, that is in District 3, that is under rest of central region, really your best buy? Could there potentially be better choices in the core central region for you? So that being said, this is very general. It's not specific to individuals. So as a job as a property agent, it is for us to actually personalize plans depending on individual needs. I would think if you want to really consider or you want to understand what is actually the better choice for you, do contact us so that we can find out requirements, and then we can personalize options for you to choose from.
Of course, by the time we release this video, you can actually preview this show flat, which actually starts from the 3rd October to the 14th October. So if you're interested to really find out more about this development or check out other developments, do give us a call and we will be very happy to catch up with you.
So we shall see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, let's go.